Hi, good morning. Thank you for the overview. You know, you speak of dollars provided by the LA County supervisors in light of the loss of money from redevelopment funds. And when we speak of cities, we recognize the incorporated cities, of course. My name is Ron Adams. I'm West LA Chamber of Commerce, BizFed board, as well as an Altadena Town Council member. So when we talk of those incorporated cities, they have the ability to put policies in place to deal with their individual situations. How do you reach out and address the unincorporated cities within Los Angeles County so they're not forgotten with all of this going on?
Thank you. You know, I can speak specifically to Altadena. I know that the Community Development Commission has been very active in attending various town councils. You know, Altadena used to have one of the county's redevelopment project areas before the dissolution. And I know that it's a community that both the supervisor as well as my staff try to remain available to. You know, it is a challenge, you know, working in the unincorporated areas, but we have some really great partners. You know, when you want to look at some of the affordable housing and economic development projects that we have in the incorporated areas, it's because of our private-public partnerships, whether that be, you know, the Kenneth Hahn Shopping Center, or it may be the affordable housing developments that we've done throughout the county with some of our partners, you know, that are here today, that you hear from a little later. But the key to that really is going to be the partnerships in the community.
I suspect by the end of the day, people will get a certain idea that I think that it is the social element that we're missing. Your comment about the private sector either being unwilling or incapable of meeting the societal need that you have to try to meet on a daily basis. And the question becomes one of the way in which low and very low housing needs are distributed among municipalities, sometimes without much consideration, it would seem, from the point of view of whether a city is built out or not. Now, I know they're supposed to take all of those into account. Do you think the way in which the RANER allotments are allocated and the relatively restricted manner in which we can accommodate that need, usually with only new construction, maximizes the opportunity of cities like Claremont, $35,000, almost built out with very high property values, perhaps some infill opportunities? Do you think that the way in which, again, we identify and then try to implement helps you meet the need? Maybe not necessarily in the county, but in other areas.
Yeah, thank you. And you know, that's quite a you know, potential buzzsaw, so to speak, when you want to talk about fair share allocations of housing units regionally. You know, I can tell you that when I was up in the Bay Area and when I was working in the city of Oakland, one of the things we actually embraced working with our arena numbers was looking forward to putting together policies and legislation that would actually help develop transit-oriented development along our BART lines, so that we could use that density to try to build those units and then receive that credit with the mixed income for those arena numbers. But even with the Herculean efforts that we were able to put forward, these numbers are so substantial that, let alone any type of federal or state or local subsidy just to build housing in general, you know, you would have to maximize density on every single lot and have a ready and able and capable developer to build units to try to meet some of these numbers. And I personally think that you know, communities have found out for years that to meet these arena numbers are quite honestly next to impossible, especially when you're looking at trying to develop housing at, 30%, 50%, 80% targeted median income numbers. But I do think it's important as a policy that these arena numbers still be made available as a goal so that the affordable housing piece to that equation isn't lost. And as I'm sure you're well aware, when you're putting together your housing element and you're looking at the arena numbers, you're recognizing the need, you're trying to apply appropriate density to potentially build that, and then you're going to look at other available resources to try to meet some of those lower income needs. So I think it plays a key role there, but I don't think it's a realistic document that quite honestly has really altered much, the amount of housing that gets built. I think that's really more related to market conditions.
Thanks for the presentation. And I wanted to ask, in the lending and grant program, primarily lending that you do, is there a requirement that these projects be built at prevailing wage?
When we had the prior redevelopment dollars and with the state requirement, the answer to that question was yes. A lot of, depending on the cities some of these projects are built in, you also have that requirement. We leave it up to the developer to determine that, and I can tell you that I think in practice, just about, well, I don't have a specific number, but I know that the majority of these projects, in fact, are paying prevailing wage, but it depends on the community and where it's located and where the potential local laws are in terms of that.
So you're saying specifically that if there are cities that you're working with, it's the city policy, such as being a charter city and having or not having prevailing wage, that would be the leverage over this policy?
Well, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
We're going to